On the 10th of October in the year 867, a significant event occurred with the birth of Li Siyuan, a noble Chinese baby destined for greatness. Li Siyuan was born to a distinguished family in the declining Tang Dynasty, and his father's background as a military general would influence his leadership path. Growing up amidst the political instability of the later Tang period, his upbringing was marked by conflict and opportunity, shaping his future role as a leader. Li Siyuan demonstrated early signs of military skill and political acumen, marked by his early recruitment into military service. His ambition and leadership abilities quickly propelled him through the ranks, securing key victories during the turbulent shifting of power in the empire. Notable for his strategic mind, Li Siyuan helped stabilize regions during the fragmentation of the Tang Dynasty, indicating his growing influence. With the eventual decline of the Tang Dynasty, instability led to the rise of warlords, and Li Siyuan navigated these challenges skillfully. As a military leader, he gained recognition and respect among his peers, setting the stage for his future as an emperor. Li Siyuan's bravery during pivotal battles earned him essential loyalty from soldiers, highlighting his natural ability to inspire. His leadership during the chaotic Five Dynasties period allowed for the establishment of his own rule, marking the founding of the later Tang Dynasty. As emperor, Li Siyuan initiated important reforms to restore stability, addressing economic issues and land distribution. Its compassionate governance earned him popularity among the common people, establishing a legacy of benevolent rulership. Li Siyuan's regime was marked by cultural flourishing, leading to advancements in art and literature during his reign. Despite challenges to his rule, Li Siyuan adeptly maneuvered through political conspiracies, solidifying his imperial authority. His reign laid the groundwork for political stability that influenced succeeding dynasties, marking a shift in governance practices within China. Li Siyuan's influence extended beyond military and political realms, impacting social structures and cultural traditions in China. His reign witnessed improvements in agricultural productivity as he prioritized land reforms benefiting peasant farmers. Li Siyuan supported educational reforms, promoting the establishment of schools that emphasized Confucian principles. The later Tang, under Li Siyuan, emerged as a significant cultural and political force, impacting the future landscape of China. By the time of his death in 933, Li Siyuan had firmly established his legacy, transforming the fortunes of the later Tang Dynasty. His death marked not an end, but a transformation, as his reforms and policies continued to influence Chinese governance for generations. Li Siyuan's portrayal in historical texts reflects his role as both a warrior and visionary leader, admired for his accomplishments. Overall, Li Siyuan's journey from a noble birth to a prominent emperor illustrates the resilience and legacy that shaped China's historical narrative. As a child, Li Siyuan learned the values of leadership and strategy, influenced by the tales of his father's military exploits in the Tang Dynasty. He would stare at maps, envisioning future conquests and dreams of unifying the fractured empire. Li Siyuan's education began at an early age, where he immersed himself in the classics of Confucian thought, guided by wise scholars in the ornate halls of his family's estate, fostering his understanding of governance and ethics. At age 18, Li Siyuan joined the army, quickly rising through the ranks due to his keen tactical mind, leading to his first command during a critical skirmish that showcased his exceptional skills on the battlefield. With a series of decisive victories in regional conflicts, Li Siyuan established a reputation as a formidable general, adeptly maneuvering strategically important territories and garnering loyalty from his troops. As unrest grew within the Tang court, Li Siyuan demonstrated his political acumen by forging alliances with influential warlords, securing his position, and facilitating military operations against rebellion leaders. In the face of mounting challenges, including treacherous plots within the palace, Li Siyuan showed remarkable resilience, outmaneuvering rivals through strategic countermeasures and careful planning. After seizing control during a coup, Li Siyuan declared himself the emperor of the newly established later Tang Dynasty, an act that marked the end of the Tang era and the start of his reign focused on restoration. Under his rule, Li Siyuan worked diligently to restore order and implement reforms that reignited economic growth, including tax adjustments that favored the peasantry and fostered agricultural innovation. Li Siyuan also turned his attention to education, establishing schools that promoted Confucianism, recognizing that an educated populace was essential for a thriving government and society. To further his cultural ambitions, he sponsored artists and poets, leading to an era of significant cultural flourishing, with literature and art reflecting the rich traditions of China during his reign. Despite his achievements, Li Siyuan faced constant threats from rival factions, which motivated him to fortify his military and strategize alliances across various regions of China. As his reputation grew, so did his court, filled with advisors and nobles. Li Siyuan navigated the treacherous waters of politics, balancing power among the elite to maintain stability. Recognizing the importance of diplomacy, he sent envoys to neighboring states, fostering relations that strengthened trade routes in the region, enhancing economic prosperity. Throughout his reign, Li Siyuan was vigilant against corruption. He introduced strict laws to ensure fairness and maintain moral governance, which earned him admiration among the common people. As Li Siyuan aged, he prepared for the future of his dynasty, implementing succession plans and training his heirs to ensure continuity of his reforms and stability of his empire. Li Siyuan's commitment to the welfare of his citizens led him to regularly visit rural areas, receiving first-hand reports of peasant life, which influenced further reforms in land distribution policies. Facing opposition from within the court, Li Siyuan navigated complex political landscapes remarkably, skillfully addressing grievances while retaining the loyalty of his supporters. As the later Tang dynasty solidified, the emergence of cities flourished under Li Siyuan's rule, leading to a vibrant cultural and economic revival stemming from trade and infrastructure improvements. Li Siyuan's approach to governance inspired subsequent leaders, shaping the trajectory of Chinese political thought, emphasizing the balance between benevolence and authority in leadership. Li Siyuan's reign was marked by a commitment to Confucian principles, which guided his policies and administration. He initiated land reforms, redistributing land to poor farmers to boost agricultural productivity and support economic stability. Cultural advancements flourished under his rule, with poets and artists encouraged to express their talents, revitalizing Chinese culture. Li Siyuan established the imperial examination system, prioritizing merit over birth, revolutionizing the selection of officials. He fostered strong diplomatic relations with neighboring states, enhancing trade and cultural exchanges across borders. Despite political intrigue, Li Siyuan successfully navigated court conspiracies, ultimately securing his position and authority as emperor. His commitment to infrastructure development led to improved roads and canals, facilitating commerce and travel throughout his empire. Li Siyuan's reign inspired a shift towards more inclusive governance, promoting equality and social justice among the populace. Acknowledging the role of military power, Li Siyuan maintained a strong army to protect the empire from external threats. Li Siyuan built a legacy of reform that influenced future dynasties, setting standards for governance and societal values in China. His policies, especially in education and agriculture, laid the groundwork for future stability in China beyond his reign. A later Tang Buddhist monks flourished, promoting spiritual practices that influenced the cultural landscape of the region. Li Siyuan's death in 933 saw the transition of power, but his impactful policies continued to resonate through successive generations. His military strategies became a subject of study, influencing future generations of leaders and military tacticians. Li Siyuan's emphasis on Confucian ethics shaped governance, emphasizing benevolence as crucial for good leadership. He promoted the arts, resulting in a Renaissance period of literature and painting that influenced Chinese culture immensely. A later Tang dynasty became a model for subsequent dynasties, emulating his strategies in administration and military. Li Siyuan's life exemplified a balance between power and responsibility, shaping the moral compass of Chinese rulers. Li Siyuan engaged with scholars and common citizens alike, bridging the gap between the throne and the populace. His influence extended into modern governance concepts, advocating for the rule of law and accountability. Li Siyuan's transition from a noble birth to a revered emperor remains a compelling narrative in Chinese history. His reforms laid the foundations for the development of a more cohesive and prosperous society, bridging gaps between classes. Even after his reign, legends about Li Siyuan's wisdom influenced leaders across Asia, modeling benevolent governance. Li Siyuan's vision for a balanced society continues to resonate with leaders and thinkers to this day, inspiring reformers. Ultimately, Li Siyuan's life reflects the enduring legacy of effective governance and the importance of cultural heritage in shaping identity.